Hey, everybody, a little bit of breaking news. Many of you have heard already, probably, that two of the Coutts four are meant to be released. I can't confirm whether they've been released as of this moment. There's all kinds of reports. Jerry Moran was supposed to be released 3 hours ago. It's Tuesday right now at about 4:40 Pacific time. So I don't know if he's out yet. I haven't had that confirmed. And Chris Lysak is also supposed to be released from remand. Now, if you remember, these guys have been locked up awaiting trial in remand. You're not supposed to be in there for 723 days. These guys have gone to hell and back. Many of them were like not given good food, and they were kept in solitary confinement at times, cold conditions, brutal conditions. And those, I mean, not even the worst of a criminal is treated that way. And I'm wondering if their release has something to do with all the pressure now coming down because the Emergency Act was ruled unjustified and unlawful and it violated the charter. And quietly, these guys have been locked up for years now because they dared to protest these nonsense mandates for a thing that doesn't work anyway. But they were first arrested on charges of mischief of over $5,000. Then soon, charges of conspiracy to commit murder were added. They were denied bail, which in Canada is very rare to be denied bail, even if you're charged with a serious crime. Because even if you're charged with a serious crime, you will routinely get bail. And so, under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, in Section 10, everyone has the right on arrest or detention to have the validity of the detention determined by way of habeas corpus and to be released if detention is not lawful. And Section 9C states that a protected right of Canadian citizens is freedom from arbitrary detention or imprisonment. And they certainly had their charter rights violated. And the funny thing was, last week I was going to interview Chris Lysak from Remand Center. So he had called me, but he wasn't quite ready to do the interview. And I wasn't either because I couldn't get my phone on speakerphone because he had to call me. And for some reason, I couldn't get the speakerphone going. But I did exchange a few words with Chris Lysak from Remand.
Subject to recording and monitoring. Press 1 to accept the call. To deny this call.
Hello.
Thank you for using Cellmate.
Hi, is this Chris?
Yes.
Chris.
How are you?
Hi, Chris.
Yeah,
This is
Chris
Anita.
Lysak calling.
Oh, Chris Lysak. It's so lovely to speak with you. I'm so glad that you could call me. And I know that we only have limited time together.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I reschedule this till Wednesday next week?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just there's something happening. I was like, I thought I was just gonna chat with you.
Oh,
But
okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely want to talk to you. But yeah,
You do. Okay, yeah, because I do want to talk to you too, and I can help get your any information you want to get out, I can get out. But I wanted to talk to you as a human being. You're a human being that's gone through like
yeah.
crazy
Oh, yeah.
odds,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we
A
can.
father that
Yeah.
misses his kids. Yeah.
No kidding. Of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. This is ridiculous what's happening to you.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And the funny thing is I can't get you on speakerphone. And what I wanted to do is just tell your story, like as a
Yeah.
human being, and not all the
Yeah,
legal
well,
stuff.
my
Yeah.
wife, Thursday next week would be best.
Yeah.
Just whatever time, I'll write it down right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like any day around this time I can do it. I can do it. Yeah. Would really love to talk to you because it's your voice that needs to be heard. I mean, everybody says Coutts 4, but you're a human being. And that's the thing I
Yeah.
want to convey. And I want to hear your story. Like what happened to you? How did
I
So
started my Facebook page so people can hear from me every day.
I know I read a little bit of it that you guys are starving and I mean not
Wow,
starving, but like
it's not starving, but it's not what grown adults eat, right? It's enough to get you by, but not right.
yeah, but it's not humane and it's not right. And I don't think you should be in remand at all. And that breaks charter violations and all that stuff.
No, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll talk to you next Thursday, 100%.
Oh, okay. That sounds great. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Not to worry. We'll do it
Okay,
anytime.
okay.
Okay. All right. You take
Yeah.
care. You have a good night. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Now, one of the journalists who's covering this quite extensively is Mocha Bezirgan. I've actually interviewed him. He's been the one outside the courthouse mainly. And so I just want to play a little bit of a friend. He interviewed a friend of, I believe this is Jerry Moran's friend or Chris Lysak's friend, but he was in the courtroom, and this is what he had to say.
I understand you were in the courtroom where a plea deal occurred. Can you please give us some details?
What happened this morning was, to some degree, a mini trial where two of the four accused before the courts took a plea deal on one of their respective charges, which changes everything, obviously, and creates a lot of uncertainty for the remaining two, Chris Garbert and Tony Olenek.
And do we know what charges have been dropped? What are the details with the deal?
So I don't have all the charges in front of me, but the charges that they pleaded to was a weapons trafficking charge in relation to Jerry Moran, and there will be obviously additional detail that'll come out from both the courts or the judiciary in relation to their respective procedures. And Chris Lysak pled guilty to a restricted weapons charge.
Did the conspiracy to commit murder charge dropped?
Correct.
Okay, that's very interesting news. Do you
Big
have any
news?
details?
That charge was dropped. They pled not guilty to that. That not guilty plea was accepted, and the guilty pleas were accepted. The sentencing recommended by both defense counsels and the Crown prosecutor was in relation to time served, so quid pro quo. Chris Lysak did, and I'm doing some math here, and I don't remember, but essentially 719 or 723 days today times 1.5 for remand. That's how they calculate this. So being in custody for pre-trial. Jerry Moran, which shocked me, and I feel this is a travesty of justice, among other reasons. Just this issue alone, spent 74 days in solitary confinement during his total incarceration, which they put a multiplier of 3 times on. So essentially, both plea deals and both sentences were for time served to be released later today. So these men will be released to go back to their families later this afternoon at the latest, I hope. So
Right. It is unheard of. It's a weapons infringement or a weapons charge of some sort. So really you're going to be put in solitary confinement for that for 75 days. You're going to be locked up for over 723 days. These guys have been locked up for that long. This was really just about protesting the mandates. This was just about setting an example. Did they have weapons on them? I don't know. And I have heard that, well, I don't even know what I can say now, but that this was not a good investigation. It was almost like things were pinned on them. And the media totally went around with that one picture of all the weapons. Where did they collect those weapons from? In Canada, we are not supposed to be this tyrannical government that can do this to people, that can do this to Canadians. I mean, locked up awaiting trial on some little hokey pokey weapons charges that they turned into murder charges, and all conspiracy to commit murder charges, and then all of a sudden they dropped those. Oh, they just dropped those. Those just went away like they sprinkled it like fairy dust. It just went off into the ether or something like that. It's kind of like hanging something over your head and then just kind of be like, oh well, okay, now there's pressure. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. You can't just take it back. You can't just do these things to families. You don't just lock people up. You just don't take these dads away from their kids. You don't take these people away from their lives over this and lock them up for this long, awaiting trial, putting them in a gulag, putting them in remand, not keeping them cold and keeping them hungry. I mean, I heard they're like, Chris Lysak has a Facebook page, and then he would document some of the things he was eating, and like they would get cream of wheat and just not that much meat and stuff like that. Like, what the heck was that for? What is that all about? Because you protested mandates, you protested standing up and saying, I don't want an injection. Thank you very much. It is your right to do that. It is your right to do that. And had that Emergency Act not been ruled unjustified and unlawful, that would have just set a really bad precedent for future governments to, for not just in Canada, but maybe in other Western so-called democracies to go ahead and do this. Oh, it's okay. You can do that. Oh, they did it in Canada. Well, you didn't do it, did you? You didn't get away with it because thank God there was a justice that ruled that it was unlawful. And perhaps that was the thing that kickstarted getting these guys out. Okay, that's just a little bit of good news. I'm glad that's a little bit of good news. And every day we get more and more because I think we're getting there. We're getting there. People, you're waking up now. Something bad was done to you. Okay, you know it now. Something very bad was done to these Coutts 4, and I'm sort of glad that 2 out of the 4 have something promising in their future. We hope. Okay, we'll keep you up to date. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.